name's Simpson. I've been playing poker professionally for, 7 years? Christ, that's a long time to be playing cards. I'm currently sponsored by Unibet, and I Twitch for them, and that's me, essentially. I won the Irish Open, which is what kickstarted my career back in 2013. So that was for $265,000. So that was a good one. Well, we're going to be learning about poker combinatorics. I taught this to Adam 4 years, 3 years. I've upgraded it slightly since then because I'm a little wiser, and hopefully Adam is too. Okay, so poker combinatorics. Let's start with the very basics. Hopefully you remember this, Adam. How many combinations of ace are there?
There is 6 combinations of aces.
I'm so glad you got that right. It shows you were listening. So 4 aces in the deck: hearts, clubs, diamonds, spades. It's easy. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's how many combinations of aces are in the deck. It's also the same for every pair, by the way, for those watching. So what about if we have an ace removed? Let's say we hold ace-5 of diamonds. So we know the ace of diamonds is in our hand. Our opponent can't have it. How many combinations of pocket aces can our opponent now have?
We're going to have 3 combinations.
3! Because you can have the ace of hearts, ace of clubs, ace of hearts, ace of spades, ace of clubs, ace of spades. So if we have an ace blocker, there are half as many ways that our opponent can have pocket aces. That's why all the solvers pick like ace-5 suited as a bluff hand, because it stops our opponent having the best hand in the deck.
Sweet.
We can use the same exercise for ace-king, but it's a little bit more complicated. If we did it as the diagram, you'd have 8 by 8, and it would be a little bit confusing. Yeah. What you can do for the non-paired hands, it's just the number of kings times the number of aces. So without any blockers, how many combinations of ace-king are there?
There is 16.
16. 4 aces, 4 kings, multiply them together.
Yep.
How many of those are suited?
It would be half. 4.
4. Yeah. So it's a little bit more complicated if there's a... Actually, it's not so much more complicated. But if there's a blocker, let's say the board is king, deuce, deuce, and we want to know how many different ways our opponent can have king, queen. One of the kings is accounted for. One of the kings is on the flop. So you multiply the number of kings remaining by the number of queens remaining. So there's 4 kings in the deck, but there's 1 king on the flop, so that leaves 3. There's 4 queens left unaccounted for. 3 times 4 means there are 12 combinations of king, queen left our opponent could have.
Nice.
Let's make sure we've got this down pat. So let's do another example. The flop comes ace, king, deuce, and we want to know how many combinations of our ace, queen are left.
There's going to be 12.
Why is there 12?
Because we are multiplying how many queens are left with how many aces are left.
Yeah, and we know there's 3 aces left because one of the aces is accounted for.
Yep.
The other queens, they're unknown to us. They stay in the sum.
Nice.
So 3 times 4, 12 left. What about ace king? How many combinations of ace king are left if the flop comes ace king deuce?
So
how many aces are left?
9.
Yeah, and why is that?
We are multiplying 3 by 3 because there's 3 aces left, 3 kings left.
Yeah. This is where Adam starts to get a headache. You've got your pen and paper, right?
Yeah.
This is the easy bit for me. I'm just going to kick back and enjoy my coffee.
Oh, this is going to make me nervous. I'm starting to sweat.
Okay, everyone in Twitch chat, you're going to need to write this down. If you want to get the most out of this lesson, take part, participate. You can just sit and wait for the answers, but the kids in school who did that got C's, and you motherfuckers want A's. So, pen and paper or on your notepad is Adam's a little bit more technologically aware than me. I don't use notepad, I use pen and paper.
Old school.
Old school. So, we have an older American gentleman. He's opening from under the gun. We know from experience that he's a tight player. And by the way, always continuation bets, 100%. That'll come into play later. We know he opens from under the gun this range. You can have 8s are better, ace queen are better, ace jack, king queen suited, jack queen suited, jack 10 suited, ace 2 suited to ace 5 suited. So the way I would write this down is do this as a list.
Okay.
So start with the pairs, 8s plus, work out how many combinations of pairs he has. Because we need to know exactly how many combos he's opening if we're going to tangle with this guy appropriately.
All right.
So how many start with the pairs, figure out how many combinations of those there are, how many combinations of ace queen and ace king there are, etc., etc., etc. So he's playing 8s, 9s, 10s, jacks, queens, kings, aces.
So can I just say what I think the first one is, so at least I know I'm on the right track?
Yeah.
So eights plus, I'm going to say 42.
Beautiful.
Lovely.
Why is it 42 for the viewers?
Because there's 6 combinations of any pair.
Yeah.
And it's 7. There's 7 possible pairs of 8 plus. So we're doing
Absolutely.
7 times 6.
There are 42 combinations of pairs.
Sweet.
Excellent. Now do the next category on a separate line. Ace Queen plus, including suited. Viewers at home, do the same. You got an answer for the second category, the Ace Queen plus?
So 32.
32, yeah.
Yeah,
We've
cool,
got 16 Ace Kings, 16 Ace Queens.
Yeah, nice.
Ace Jack suited. How many combinations of Ace Jack suited are there?
4.
4. And that's going to be the exact same for King Queen suited, Jack Queen suited, 10 Jack suited. So we can write all that down.
Yep.
What about Ace Deuce to Ace 5 suited?
That is going to be 16.
16.
Yeah.
By the way, it's totally acceptable to count on your fingers. I just did it literally right now. I'm glad, I should have my webcam working. But my wife, who's a maths teacher, who's one of the best teachers in the country, still counts on her fingers.
That's so funny.
So,
I was literally counting on my fingers, and because my webcam's up, I was freaking out that you could see me actually doing it.
there is no shame in counting on your fingers. I do it when I have a fucking straight draw, dude, when I'm live playing cards.
Yeah.
Have I got it yet? No. There's a gap. I better raise.
I'm just going to reply to chat one sec, mate. Rain factor. The reason why we do this is, once you know it over a certain period of time, it just kind of installs into your head, and this is kind of for live poker as well.
Well, it's a very good question, Ray, but it depends how good at poker you want to be. If you want to be able to understand what the software is doing and why it's doing it, this will help you do that. Being able to do it manually, it kind of reminds me of the kids at school that say, why do we have to do mental arithmetic when we always have a calculator? And it's not just about getting the answer, it's about developing your brain and understanding the pathways that get you to the answers.
Good question, though.
So, yeah, very good question. Okay, so hopefully you have this written down.
I do. I have 106.
But 106. Did you do did you total them up, or are you just copying off my answer?
No, I did. I got, I did. 42, 32, 4, 4, 4, 4, 16.
Beautiful. So our opponent is playing 106 combinations of hands. So I'm going to give you another headache. The board comes Ace, King, 8, all suited. Ace of Spades, King of Spades, 8 of Spades. Now you need to know how many combinations of hands are left to our opponent, because he can't have Ace, King of Spades, right?
No.
So that's 105 combinations left. He can't have the Ace of Spades, Ace of Diamonds, because the Ace of Spades is accounted for.
Okay.
So we need to know how many cards are left after card. How many combinations are left after card removal? So you've got this list, right? Written down. All of you at home have the same list written down.
Yep.
What I would do to make it easier, I would break this category down into pairs that have made sets and pairs that haven't made sets.
Okay.
So we know that pocket 8s, pocket kings, and pocket aces have made sets. So for pocket 8s, how many combinations of pocket 8s does he have left? Just like this, but with pocket 8s.
3, yeah.
Yeah, so because we know the presence of one of the cards, it's accounted for, he can only have pocket 8s 3 different ways.
Yeah.
Same for pocket aces, same for pocket kings.
Okay, cool. So 9, yeah?
Okay. 3 sets. 3 pocket 8s, 3 pocket kings, 3 pocket aces. So there's 9 combinations of sets. So, and then the other pairs remain the same. So there's 4 other pairs for 6 combos each. And then go from there.
You may have to go through this one, bro.
Yeah, that's cool. So for the sets, we know there's 3 combinations of 8s, because the board is Ace of Spades, King of Spades, 8 of Spades.
So there's going to be 33 combinations.
Yes. Yeah. I did have to double check my own answers, but yes, there'll be 33. Cool. Because there are 9 combinations of sets and then 24 combinations of the remaining pairs.
Cool.
Okay?
Yep.
What about Ace Jack suited? Because he didn't play Ace Jack offsuit. He only plays Ace Jack suited. We know the Ace of Spades is on the board, so we can't have Ace of Spades, Jack of Spades.
3?
How many? Yeah, 3. The aces, the hearts, the diamonds, and the clubs.
Yeah.
What about Ace King? Remember the board's Ace King 8. How many combinations of Ace King can he have?
This will be...
So how many aces are left in the deck?
3.
How many kings are left in the deck?
9.
Sure. Absolutely. What about Ace Queen? Remember the board's Ace King 8.
12.
Correct.
Oh, he's got it, boys.
So he's got it now. How many king-queen suiteds?
12.
No. Ace king-queen suited. He didn't play king-queen offsuit.
Oh, okay,
So
of course.
So there's 4 combinations of king-queen suited. Spades, clubs, hearts, diamonds. The king of spades is on the board, so we can't have king-queen of spades.
3.
3. Excellent. Jack-queen suited?
9. 12. 12, 13,
You were that
15.
kid in school. You were that kid who just shouted out until you got the right answer. There's 4. There's the clubs,
There's
the hearts,
4?
the spades. Yeah, there's the club, Jack Queen of clubs, Jack Queen of spades, Jack Queen of hearts, Jack Queen of diamonds, right? And it's not blocked. There's no Jack or Queen on the board.
Okay, yeah, of course.
Jack Queen. That makes sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Same for 10 Jack. That isn't blocked.
Okay.
Now, Ace Deuce to Ace 5 suited, and we're going to keep these as one category. Is this category blocked? Is any of these cards accounted for?
The Ace Deuce to Ace 5?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Because the Ace of Spades is on board. So you can't have Ace Deuce of Spades.
For sure.
But you can have Ace Deuce of clubs, diamonds, and hearts.
Yeah.
And the same goes for Ace 3, Ace 4, and Ace 5. So how many combinations in this category are left?
12.
I can't remember. Yes, it's 12.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Anyone in Twitch land want us to go over that again? Because I realize that this is a fucking headache, especially the first time you look at it. Like when I was planning this lesson, I had to take a day off and come back to it and double check my maths, and I had fucked up.
I mean, the way you're laying it out and with how everything is looking on screen, it's much easier. It's just when you're kind of going through it in your head.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's why you've got a pen and paper, dude.
Yeah, no, it's here. It's in front of me. It's in front of me.
So he started with 106 combinations, and now he's only got 80 left. Okay, because of the card removal, he can't have pocket aces with the ace of spades, so he's only got 3 combinations of aces left. You do that same exercise for all of the hands that he plays, looking at all of the blocking effects of the flop. And you can do it one more time for the blocking effect of the cards in your hand, but we're not going to worry about the cards in our hand yet. So, not entirely forgetting about combinatorics yet. This guy opens under the gun. We defend the big blind. The board comes ace, king, 8, all spades. Who has the advantage here? Whose range is strongest?
The original razor.
The original razor. And why is that?
They should be having a higher combination of hands, which are going to be connected with this flop.
Yes, they're absolutely smashing this flop. Okay, so in Poker Tracker, if you go to Tools, you can go to the Equity Calculator.
Yep.
And you can have a play around with this. You can type in the flop, ace of spades, king of spades, 8 of spades, and you can put in ranges. So you can say what our opponent's raising range is. So we said he raises 8s plus, so all the pairs. He raises these hands, but not these hands. And he raises these hands as his bluffs.
Nice.
So you can put in your exact opponent's range, or as best as you can. This is where poker gets complicated, because my opinion on an opponent's range and your opinion on an opponent's range will be different. And this is where the solvers, aren't exactly perfect, because they'll assume GTO, and nobody plays GTO yet.
Yep.
So we put in what we think people's ranges are, and we can put in what we know our range to be. So we're defending against a see, I'm not exactly sure about this. What exactly we'll be defending, because against such a tight range, and we know he's got a tight range, a bunch of these hands are, well, kind of interesting. It also depends how deep we are, of course.
Yeah.
I'm kind of tempted to play lots of suited shit against this guy when we're so deep. I like that he's got a tight range.
For sure.
Because...
So, it is for big blind, yeah?
This is our big blind defense range. It might be something like this.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know what the solver will say. There might be some people at home saying, what the fuck are you doing defending Jack 10 off? Whatever. Some of these might not be defends against such a tight range, especially that hand. Whatever. Yeah. Suited stuff, when you're deep, will be defends, because our implied odds are so big against a strong range. Because if he's got aces and we smash the board, we're going to mess him up. Yeah. So we can look at what the equities are range v range. And as you can see, he is smashing this. He has a huge equity advantage. That's one of the biggest equity advantages you'll see in poker, actually. But there's a second point to this, and it's something called nut advantage. So he can have pocket eights, right? For bottom set.
Yeah.
Can he have a flush?
Yes.
Yes, because he opened 10 jack of spades, right?
Yep.
Can he have many flushes? How many flushes can this guy actually have?
Well, he blocks. Yeah, he can't have many. He can have two, three.
Two.
Oh yeah, because the king's out there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So his flushes, he's only got the 10 jack of spades and the jack queen of spades. He can't have king queen of spades. The king of spades is accounted for on the flop.
Yep.
Same with these hands. Now, one flaw in our opponent's range is that he's not playing enough of these sorts of hands from under the gun.
Yep.
Because on this board, he doesn't have the nuts often enough. This will come into play more on lower suited boards, lower monotone boards. Well, when we defend the big blind, we can hit a flush with all these hands.
Yeah.
And he can't. So it's really hard for him to have a flush, but whereas we can have a whole ton of flushes, and he can't. He can only have a couple of flushes. He can have the sets, pocket aces, pocket kings, pocket eights. He can have top two pair with the ace kings. He can have top pair, top kicker with the ace queens. But he can't have very many flushes, and we can have all the flushes. Conversely, we can't have the top sets. Because pocket aces and pocket kings, we'd almost always 3-bet. Occasionally we wouldn't, but usually we would. Okay?
Yep.
So, he has a range advantage. The nut advantage we probably have, because he can't have the flushes, but we can. What are our potential plans against this player, given all that information?
We're from the big blind, yeah?
Yeah, we've defended the big blind. The board has come this. We know his range very well.
We could be floating a lot. Check raising.
Possibly. Can we check raise with impunity here? Is going to be the next tricky question I'm going to throw to you. As in, the dealer accidentally gave us 2 Uno cards. Can we check raise and win without even having any cards, essentially? Can we not even look at our cards, not worry about blockers? Can we check raise with impunity here? Remember, this guy continuation bets 100% of the time, for those of you just joining. I put that in at the very start.
For sure.
The board
we definitely can. We have more spades.
You say definitely can. I want you to prove it. Let's just go through the action. The hero doesn't have anything here, Total Maniac. We have a big blind defense range, and we're asking the question, can we check raise without even bothering to look at our cards, without bothering to take it into account? So let's look at this. He raises to 2 big blinds pre-flop, and we call. We're playing live. There's a big blind ante. That's another big blind. The small blind is half a big blind. That makes the pot 5.5 big blinds in total. He continuation bets 2 big blinds. That makes the pot 7.5 big blinds. And let's say, for argument's sake, and this is just for the ease of the maths, not because I think this is correct or anything, let's say we check raise to 7.5 big blinds. How often does this have to work to be break even? We're risking 7.5 big blinds to win the 7.5 big blinds. So let's say we make this play and win.
Yeah.
We risk 7.5, we win 7.5. We make this play and it goes wrong. It just jams in our face and we have to fold. We lose 7.5 big blinds. So it's going to be 50-50. Cool. If it works 50% of the time, we will break even. If he folds any more than someone's complaining that we're doing a math stream. So yeah, we're risking 7.5 to win 7.5. If it succeeds once, we're in profit by 7.5 big blinds. If it fails once, we lose 7.5 big blinds, so we're breaking even. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah.
So if this works half the time, we will break even. Any more than that, we're going to be in profit. Is this player folding? Well, how often is this player folding to a check raise?
Considering his range, he's 100% c-bet, and then he's going
to. I want the maths, Adzi, the exact maths. I want a percentage. So let's go back to his range. This is the range he has. You all should have had this written down. We need to know how much of this range he is folding.
All right, let me work this out 1 second. I'm gonna get this.
So the 4 pairs. Let's start with the first line here. So he has nines, tens, jacks, and queens left in his pocket pairs range. 6 combinations of each, so that's 24 combinations. Is he folding these all to a check raise?
Sorry, bro. I was just working out the percentage then. Say that again, bro. Sorry.
So we're check raising on a board of ace, king, 8.
Yep.
Our opponent's range, someone in chat's just asking for the range. This is our opponent's range. 8 plus, ace, jack suited, ace, king, ace, queen, king, queen suited, jack, queen suited, jack, 10 suited, and ace, deuce to ace, 5 suited. After card removal on the ace, king, 8 board, sorry, I should have the flop on there. I don't know why it's not there. We need to figure out how much of this range he will fold to a check raise. So what's he going to do with pocket nines, Adam?
He's just gonna fold.
Is he going to fold the 9 of spades?
No, he's not.
It's kind of hard to say. Maybe not.
Yeah, most
probably
not.
Yeah, so he's going to have the combinations of pocket nines with the spade in them. And that's half of them.
Yep.
Because the 9 of spades pairs with the 9 of diamonds, 9 of hearts, 9 of clubs, for 3 combinations of pocket nines with the 9 of spades, and you'll fold the combinations of nines without a spade. So that is 3 hands he's defending and 3 hands he's folding.
Okay.
Same for pocket tens, jacks, and queens. You'll continue with the spade, fold without the spade.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, we're making progress. So we're getting an idea of the kind of hands he's going to continue with, the kind of hands he's going to fold. Is he going to fold his sets?
Nope.
Fuck no. He's going to fuck us up with the sets.
For sure.
Well, he's going to fight with us with the sets. So there are 9 combinations of sets. That's another 9 combinations he's not folding.
Yep.
Let's worry about the hands that he is folding. So we know he's folding 3 combinations of 9s, 10s, jacks, and queens. So that's 12 combos he's folding, right?
Yes.
Is he folding ace, jack on this board?
He's not folding.
He's not folding that.
No.
Correct? I don't think he will either. Ace, king, and ace, queen. No way in hell. King, queen suited. He has 3 combos of this. Is he going to call a check whiz with king, queen suited here?
Yes.
You think? I don't think so. He's got second pair, no draw.
Of course. Yep. Yeah, we'll take
Probably
that
just going to fold that. So that's another 3 combinations he's calling with. Now, jack, queen, and 10 queen suited. Remember, he's c-betting 100% of the time for the purpose of this exercise. So jack, queen of spades on the ace, king, 8 all spades board, he ain't folding.
Yeah.
But the 3 other combos, jack, queen of hearts, clubs, and diamonds, he's just going to surrender on this board, right? Same for 10 jack suited, 10 jack of hearts, he's just going to fold. So that's another 3 combinations there. Ace deuce to ace 5 suited. This is where we can't be totally sure about our opponent. And this is where it gets, this kind of analysis gets tricky. Is he going to call a check raise with top pair, no kicker, on an ace, king, 8, nose, all spade board?
Exactly. Population would say no.
He seems, I mean, he's an older guy who's tight, so maybe he will.
Sorry, yeah, he will fold. That's what I mean. Yeah, he's not going to continue.
Honestly, I don't know. It depends on the player. Let's say he does. So he's folding. How many combinations is he folding? Did you write it down?
I'm trying to. I'm trying to go along as we go.
Yeah. Well, I've got him folding 12 combinations of pairs. The pocket pairs that don't have a spade in them. I've got him folding 3 jack queens and 3 10 jacks.
So 9. Okay.
I've got
9 for some reason.
I've got him folding the 3 king queens he's got available to him. Yeah. So that's why you got the 9.
9. Okay,
3 king queens, 3 jack queens, 3 10 jacks. He's folding those. So that's another 9.
Yeah, cool.
And I put down that he's folding the ace deuce to ace 5. Maybe he only folds half of these. Maybe he folds none of these. Hard to say. But let's say that he does fold them for argument's sake. That's 33 hands that he's going to fold, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So what percentage of the time is he folding? He started the hand with 80... Well, after card removal, he has 80 combinations of hands left. He's folding 33 of them. If you open up your calculator, you can do 33 divided by 80 times 100. That is the percentage he's going to fold.
41%, yeah.
What did we need him to fold to break even?
50.
So, we cannot check raise with impunity. His range is too strong.
Cool.
But now we know how to get to that answer.
Cool. It's in depth. My head's about to explode.
Good. It's meant to.
It's good. Yeah, it's good. It's like super good.
So, where was I? So, we think he's folding up to 33 hands to a check raise. That's 41% of the time. Not enough. But if we choose a blocker hand, that makes the idea a little bit more appetizing. Because if we hold Jack of Spades, 10 of Clubs, we block some of his continuing hands. How many of his continuing hands do we block if we have Jack of Spades, 10 of Clubs?
We block...
We're looking at the pocket 10s and the pocket Jacks combinations here.
Three.
Yeah, so if we look at the Ace of Spades in this particular diagram, on the left-hand side,
yeah,
you can have the Ace of Spades with the Ace of Hearts, Ace of Spades with the Ace of Clubs, Ace of Spades with the Ace of Diamonds. There are 3 ways pocket aces can have a spade in them. Same for all of the pairs.
Yeah.
So in our example, you'll fold those three combinations are blocked. They're 3 of his continuing hands. He's folding just a little more. 10 of Clubs actually blocks the 10 of Clubs and the 10 of Spades. So we block 4 of his continuing combinations here, holding 10 Jack. Not only that, we have a squeak of equity. We have a gut shot straight draw and a flush draw. So if he has pocket aces and we check raise with this hand, we can actually hit our hand, outdraw him. That makes check raising this hand. It'll hopefully make up for the deficit because we need him to fold 50% of the time. He's only folding 41% of the time. But because we block some of his continuing range and because we have some equity, that'll make this a profitable check raise.
Cool, nice.
I'm not sure if this hand, 8-9 diamonds, is good enough to check raise bluff with here. It's pretty close. Because if we what's the benefits of this hand, Adam?
We block the sets.
We block the sets. So he can only have one combination of sets now. Because the 8 of spades is accounted for, the 8 of diamonds is accounted for. There's only one combination of pocket 8s he can have.
Ace of clubs, ace of hearts. 8 of clubs, 8. Yep, cool.
Yeah, so that's 2 more hands that he can't continue with. We have a little bit of equity, but it's very shady equity. If we turn a 9, I don't know how happy we are. We've outdrawn ace, queen, and ace. We've outdrawn ace, queen, and ace, jack. Might not be strong enough. I'm not entirely sure. But if we're going to check raise here, we need a blocker or a squeak of equity.
Yeah.
So he has an incredibly strong range on this board. What are we going to do when we flop a flush?
Check call.
Check call? I think I'm check raising. I think I'm just going to get excited and get max value out of all these hands because he continues a hell of a lot of the time because he's got so many big hands.
40% is still cool.
Yeah. Okay. How are you feeling?
Fried.
Don't worry. That's the entirety of the math sort of stuff we've done. I'm not going to get you to do any more combination stuff.
Cool.
But I will get, well, actually I am. If just for you guys at home, back in the day, Adam was one of my students, and I actually set him essays, him and all the other guys. Whoops. Back in the day. So I am going to set you some homework, Adam, for old time's sake, and everyone who's watching at home. But we'll get to the homework in just a minute. So let's take a different board. We'll not go through all the combinations because it does take a very long time. You can if you want. I've shown you how, and you can re-watch this hopefully to solidify the knowledge. Let's say it's the exact same scenario, but this time the board comes king 8-7, king of spades, 8 of spades, 7 of clubs. Who has the advantage here? So we've defended the big blind against this tight opponent. Same opponent as before. Who has the advantage on this board? Well, we can have some 2 pairs. He's got all the over pairs. He's got most of the sets. And if you look at our range, if this is our range, look how much junk we have.
Yeah.
That has no pair and just a draw. Yeah. So our opponent has a massive advantage here. We mitigated that advantage in the last scenario because the board was monotone. We had all these flushes.
Yeah.
But in this case, we just have flush draws. So my plan here, if the turn would become a spade, we know our opponent can't have very many flushes because he's not opening very many suited hands.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to lie about how many flushes I have if the turn comes another spade.
We can rep it pretty hard, yeah?
We can rep it pretty hard. Nice to have a blocker. Essential if you're against a random opponent you don't know. Against an opponent you know is capped, you could be a little bit creative, I think. Mm-hmm. So he has the range advantage, he has the nut advantage. Let's go to a more fun flop for the big blind. So in this example, under the guns open from a tight range, flop comes 5 of clubs, 6 of clubs, 7 of clubs.
Yep.
Now who has the advantage?
Yeah, big blind. We can have flushes, we can have straights, we can have all the sets.
Yeah. Let me go back to the equity calculator. Put his range back in. He was opening this.
Appreciate everybody jumping in the chat as well, guys.
Hello, boys and girls. Love to have you all here. So this was his opening range. We defend the big blind. Don't worry, not that loose. I'm pretty loose. I'm not this loose. Not against the net. But I do love these hands against the tight player. Something like this. Maybe.
I know you like the 10-4 suited there.
You like the 10-4 suited? Okay, I'll leave that one in just for you. So we defend this. Now, as a range, he's still going to have a range advantage. But that's because we got so much junk. But we have a nut advantage here. Now, what I mean by nut advantage is, well, it depends how you define nuts. But if you define nuts as 2 pair or better, he is capped at 1 pair hands and flushes.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have many flushes. We, however, can have all of these 2 pairs. We can all have all the pairs and straight draws. We can have all these flushes. And we can have all the sets. So we have a nut advantage. We have all of these nutty hands all around here.
We gave him 8s plus pre, yeah?
Right, and the board's 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, cool.
So he has the flushes in this part of his range. But even that one's blocked because there's a 5 on the board. So he's got these flushes and he's got these flushes.
Yeah.
Oh, that one as well. But we have all these flushes. Millions. We have all the 2 pairs. We have all the sets. So we have a huge nut advantage. He's very much capped at a few flushes, but mostly his value stuff is 1 pairs.
Yeah.
So when we have a big nut advantage, we can definitely mess with this guy a little bit, especially someone who is
100%
quite tight, who's 100% c-betting, who's quite tight. Because if he's folding his overpairs to a check raise on such a scary board, he's not defending to a check raise very much at all. He's only defending his flushes.
Yeah.
Maybe pocket 8s as well. So we can check raise pretty damn viciously against a player like this.
Nice.
If he doesn't fold his overpairs, it becomes different. But if he doesn't fold his overpairs and the turn comes a 4, the turn comes an 8, the turn comes a 9.
We're just going to win the hand.
Because he can't have the nuts.
Yeah.
So, hope that was helpful, dude. Do you want your homework?
I do want homework, yeah. It's been a long time.
Do you want homework?
I haven't got a dog now, so I can't make up that excuse that my dog's ate.
Got it. Maybe you could blame one of the fellow thirst loungers. One of your thirst loungers at the home. All right, gang. So, take yourself a screenshot right now of the screen if you're at home. Are you still have Adam? I know you like...
This is
you prefer that
level technology. We're going to take a photo on the phone.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
So, you've got your Thirst Lounge crew there, so they're going to be ideal for this kind of homework.
Cool.
Because you're going to do this as a group. So, I've just made up a few scenarios for the purpose of this PowerPoint, yeah? Mm-hmm. There are endless scenarios you can make up and go through. I picked a scenario where Under the Guns range was very tight to make the maths easy, because there wasn't very many combos to deal with.
Yeah.
In this scenario, we're going to be dealing with wider ranges. We're going to have an unknown opponent, so we don't know his tendencies. He opens the cutoff, so you'll know your cutoff opening range. Use that. We're defending the big blinds. You'll know your own big blind defense range. Use that. And the flop comes the 3 of clubs, the 5 of clubs, the 7 of spades. And here are our tasks. Number 1, use Poker Tracker to see who has the range advantage. So put this flop in, put our opponent's ranges in, for those of you at home. Poker Tracker's equity calculator, and there's other equity calculators out there you can get a hold of. Go to Tools, go to Equity Calculator, put in the board there, put in the ranges here. Find out who has the range advantage on this board. Then use the knowledge you've done from my lesson to see who has the nut advantage. Which range has the most 2 pairs plus? Yeah. Who has the most straights, the most two pairs, the most sets, etc. Then, in your group, Adam, with your Thirst Lounge crew, construct a flattening range and a check raising range. So we're going to assume our opponent c-bets. Remember, we defended the big blind. He was in the... Where did I put him? The cutoff? Yeah. You need two ranges. You need three ranges. You need check fold, check raise, and check call. Maybe you need a leading range. I don't know. I don't think I have some leads on
some,
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you can construct four ranges then if you want. Leading range, check raising, check calling, check folding ranges. You can do this independently and then come together as a group, or you can just do it as a group from the start, up to you. One thing I want you to notice is what effect do the gaps have on the nut advantage. What I mean by gaps is that this board isn't 3, 4, 5, it's 3, 5, 7. You'll notice as you're doing your combos that has a big gapped flops have a big impact on the nut advantage.
In the sense that we're taking out his ace-3, ace-5 suitors, yeah?
Well, in the sense that he doesn't open 4-6, but you defend 4-6.
Cool.
But you both have 4-5 suited. So the gaps have a big impact on nut advantages when you're facing a big blind defense.
Okay, yeah. And this is from the cutoff. Yeah, my bad. I was thinking under the gun here.
Yeah. So take a screenshot.
Yep.
Have a play around. And yeah, that's all from me.
Sweet, mate. That was brilliant session, man. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
It kind of opens your mind. Like, if people want to really succeed at the game, this is the kind of stuff. Because obviously you just have this sort of ingrained into your head when playing live and stuff. You can just kind of, once you go over it and over it and over it, you kind of just get a feel for it, yeah?
That's the thing. You can't, obviously, we've taken an hour to do this scenario. We can't do that at the table during the hand.
Yeah.
And you're going to get, and there's, close to infinite poker scenarios, So you can't have studied them all, but the more of them that you have studied, the better prepared you are.
Yeah.
And now, if you get the same example that we went through today, but maybe the flop's just a little bit different, where you can think back to this example and think, oh, well, this is kind of similar to that, and I couldn't check raise with impunity then. I needed a blocker, and then you can hopefully make a good play.
Yeah. And it's good to have the basic down understand of like 6 combination of pairs, 3 combinations if one's been taken out.
Yeah, and just to understand the reasons why blockers are so effective. Yeah. It's not that your opponent can't have the nuts anymore, it's that they have less combinations of the nuts.
Precisely, yeah.
Yeah. Right, I hope that was informative.
Sweet.
Do you mind if I plug my Twitch channel?
Of course not, man. Go ahead.
It's twitch.tv/Ian Simpson Poker.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's
twitch.tv/Ian Simpson Poker, guys. Really good stream, really good player, as you can see. So, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure guesting on your channel. Really appreciate it, dude.
Appreciate it, man.
All right. You take care.
Massive thanks, mate. Massive thanks. And when we meet up next.